Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Friday, October 24th, 2025. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for today. So what do we have here? Some data from Japan, national CPI and core CPI in line with the expectations, up from 2.7 to 2.9%. Bank services PMI data down from 53.3 to 52.4%. Core retail sales data from the UK beats the expectations, and the retail sales beats the expectations as well. So bunch of good data from the UK. We are waiting for the manufacturing and services PMI data from across the Eurozone, including the manufacturing PMI from the Germany, scheduled for release at 9:30. Then at 10 o'clock we got the manufacturing PMI, composite PMI and services PMI data from the Eurozone. And then composite PMI, manufacturing PMI and services PMI data from the UK. This one is scheduled for 10:30. Bank of England Deputy Governor Woods will give a speech 11:15. Then we have the interest rate decision in Russian Federation. Market participants expect the National Bank to hold the interest rate at the level of 17%. Another very important bunch of data starts with the US session core CPI and CPI data from the USA are scheduled for release at 2:30, together with the building permits. From the Canada, we got new housing price index scheduled for release at the same time. 15 minutes later, we got German BUA President Joachim Nagel to give a speech. Then another bunch of data is scheduled for release. Global services PMI, manufacturing PMI, and composite PMI are scheduled for release at 4 o'clock. Then we have 1 year, 5 year inflation expectations, consumer expectations, and consumer sentiment scheduled for release at 4 o'clock. New home sales scheduled for release at 4 o'clock. And we end the day with the US Barker Hughes oil recount and total recount at 7 o'clock. So, I don't know how many of this data will be released on time due to the US government shutdown. Nevertheless, they are still in the calendar. So without any further ado, let's switch to the chart. We start with euro dollar. So the euro dollar is switching now to the 4-hour time frame chart, and we have a successful bounce from the trend line. So the trend line has been tested. We have a bounce. However, the technical resistance at 1.1643 has not been violated just yet, and we are waiting for the another movement to the upside. This is the key short-term level for the bulls right now. It needs to be violated together with the 100 periods moving average in order for the market to move up. If there is no breakout higher, then we should expect another smooth movement to the upside, to the downside, to test the double bottom level at 1.1543. Momentum is negative, however it's not very strongly negative, 46 points only, so we should see another movement here to the downside. We should see it as a much more probable because of the negative sentiment and the dominance by the bears. Cable, after the bunch of good data, doing nothing. We broke below 100 periods moving average. We broke below all of these technical support levels. Now they are resistance 1.3367 and 1.3333, and we just have been messing around this level here, 1.3304. so that's the yesterday's low, and any breakout below this low will be considered very bearish. So that's the technical support, temporary technical support, any breakout, and we go to the wave Y low at 1.3247. Absolutely no impact on the good data from the UK. It looks like the market participants await the other data. As you know, there is plenty of the services PMI and composite PMI data scheduled for release today, so maybe market is positioning ahead of the data release. Momentum remains negative 42 points, so the odds for the movement to the downside are a little bit stronger. We should see some sort of the movement to the downside, especially if the data will be there. Trigger. Local technical line, this is the trend line. As you can see, the market actually does love this trend line. I don't know how many times we hit this trend line already. Nevertheless, any breakout above the trend line might be considered bullish in the short term. US dollar versus the Japanese yen, as expected, after the breakout above the blue trend line, is coming towards the 153.28 swing high from the October 10th, 2025. Momentum is strong, momentum is positive. We hit the extremely overbought conditions. Nevertheless, we are just a tad below the swing high, so we should expect a test of this level, and then we will see what will happen. Extremely overbought conditions might indicate some sort of the pullback, some sort of the correction. So we will see how this one will go, and there is a potential for the double top to be built here. However, this is for now a very far-fetched, and we are not going to continue with this scenario unless we have the hit and the test of the 153.28 level. Please notice that the gap is still not filled, and the gaps have the tendency to get filled. However, we don't know exactly when eventually this will happen. Now we are going to take a look at the gold, obviously, because the gold market, yes, the gold market is down yet again, is not moving higher at the same pace as it used to. So we are definitely in developing some kind of a different cycle. Maybe some kind of a corrective cycle is in progress. Right now the price is oscillating around 100 periods moving average. As you can see, any attempt to break above 4,160 is right now getting capped. So the bears are still in charge of the market, and they are using these levels to sell it for the better price. Any breakout below the $4,004 exactly is automatically bearish, and this movement to the downside will get simply extended lower. Potential double top, but in the short term, obviously, on the daily, on the weekly, no such a thing is being present. On the daily, on the weekly, we still have an uptrend on gold. S&P 500 is very close to the recent swing high, 6,764, and we should see another test of this level very soon. Momentum is strong and positive. As you can see, dips are being bought. Solid demand zone here, around 6,530. So we should see new all-time high on the S&P 500 very soon. And last but not least, the Bitcoin. Bitcoin keeps doing nothing, keeps moving around sideways, kicking the can down the road. Not much is going on here. There is no pattern in progress. There is no any specific situation here. We might obviously move this line here and mark it as the local technical resistance, no problem. $114,067. Possibly the bulls wants to test the 100 periods moving average, but with this volatility, with this kind of a momentum, this is still a part of the sideways market. So the Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin, we are waiting for the trigger to move in either direction. Please notice the biggest correction here in the recent weeks has took place on the October 11th. So right now the market is trying to move out of the big zone, either above the all-time high or below the correction low. How the market will react, we will see. For now, we're just oscillating around here below the demand zone, below the 100 periods moving average, around inside of the range, around the level of 50 on the RSI. This is what I wanted to say. So the outlook remains very uncertain. Weekly and daily time frame charts are still up, so the trend is up as well. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.